Hello, hi, how are you? I'm Robin. Welcome back or welcome to my YouTube channel. This little world right here is Man for Himself. If you like hair product reviews, grooming, skincare, fragrance, and videos like this very one, then press subscribe right now. You are going to love it round here. So, this year has been a bit of a shitter. Let's just be honest and upfront. I was going to try and pussyfoot around that. No, it's been tough. It's been tough and it's been rough. And lockdown, like across the world, has just been difficult. You know, you're not used to just staying in your own zone and not seeing your friends and not getting dressed up and looking after yourself so much. But during lockdown, I kept like my routines going. I very much was locked down by myself in this one room and my bedroom. And I still wore fragrance. I still wore fragrance. I still wore my fragrances and I loved it because these fragrances transported me to somewhere different, and they just made me feel good about myself. And I needed that boost. And fragrance is so emotive, and it can make you feel like you're ready for a night out. It can make you feel sexy. It can make you feel mysterious. It can make you feel warm. It can make you feel happy. And these 5 fragrances here were ones I kept on going back to time and time again. I should say, like, over this lockdown period, there's been like 15, 20 that I've been using. But I wanted to highlight these ones. Now, the first one, let's go Tom Ford Ombre Leather. I kept on coming back to. I've got a fragrance podium in my bedroom. I've got loads of fragrances in the office, having a bit of a clear out at the moment, and so many of them have landed back here. And this one I got back into and just loved. I absolutely love Ombre Leather. This started off as a private blend fragrance by Tom Ford. It then moved into the signature. This is all about sort of like the modern day cowboy, they've said. This leather is like no other leather. This is so accessible. If you are someone who wants to maybe move into these, I think, more mature fragrances, which are more like the ouds and the leathers, something maybe slightly more earthy like patchouli, then this could be a really great sort of gateway fragrance for you. For me, this gave me warmth. This gave me something which made me feel like I wasn't just sitting in my flat. Now, with this one, there's also jasmine in this. Now, jasmine is floral, but this is jasmine sambac, I'm pretty sure it is, which is slightly more masculine in terms of jasmine. Then with the leather, it just is so beautiful. This to me is bright. I quite often kind of think purple when I think of this fragrance. And it sits so well on the skin and it lasts. I think it's just a beautiful, beautiful warming fragrance, and the bottle is gorgeous. And I'm so pleased that I went back to this. Another one which has been sort of very light and bright. I'm not normally a sort of citrus sort of guy. I used to be when I was slightly younger, but I have gone back to some of these citruses. And this one is Vetiver and Grapefruit by Molton Brown. And this is an eau de parfum, pretty sure. Molton Brown had a bit of a rebrand. They sort of changed up the way that they were doing their fragrances. I really like the sort of the new bottles with the spherical cap on the top. But the fragrances are also really great. Really great. Vetiver and Grapefruit. I think Grapefruit is a really, I think it's a really sort of clever alternative to the sort of ubiquitous bergamot that we have of summer. I think Grapefruit is more impactful. I think it's livelier. It seems to still move on the skin. I think it's youthful, but very much anyone of any age is able to wear this. But what I have enjoyed about this is this initial pop. The grapefruit is so present. It's so much fun. And with that vetiver, you are given a grounding, which I love. And the dry down is still lively. You don't get rid of that grapefruit, but you are left with something slightly grassy with a vetiver. It's beautiful. This is such a beautiful fragrance. And I think it's a really solid launch from Molton Brown. There's other ones that I love from them. Russian Leather is great. Bizarre Brandy, which was the end of last year, which is a gourmand fragrance. And it is so like Christmassy. It's so warming. And it is beautiful. But this one, I think, is fantastic. Let's go like to the other end of the scale. This is Acqua Di Parma Oud. Now, this is, out of all of these, sort of the heaviest one. I've kind of kept it middle of the road to kind of upper in terms of sort of weight of a fragrance. I do want something with an impact. I want something that I know that I'm wearing. But when I sprayed this, it just took me like into very much like an evening event. it took me back to some of the sort of launch events that I went to and the stuff that I got a bit more dressed up with. So instantly just spraying this and shutting my eyes just, again, got me out of here and into something which was a little decadent, a bit like some sort of PR team had chucked too much money at a launch, honestly. But I just really enjoyed wearing this. Now, the performance on this is fantastic. It really does last. The sillage is amazing, not like anyone else could smell it in here. And it really does sit on the skin. I said on manfromself.com, where all these fragrances are plus more, I said that this was slightly more accessible in terms of someone that wants to get into an oud. But actually, I think this is quite heavy. It definitely, you kind of get a bit, it's a bit heady on that sort of initial sort of spritz. But the dry down is warming. It's warming and it's comforting. And of those evenings where you just thought, how much longer is this going to go on for? And you sat with a glass of red wine, just to have this on the skin was like the cat or the dog or the boyfriend that I didn't have. And it was really, really refreshing is the wrong word, comforting. And I just think it's gorgeous. Heading back to another Tom Ford, and this was a fragrance that I wore like a lot, maybe like 4 years ago. This is Tom Ford Oud Wood. I think this is one of the most solid launches of Tom Ford in the private blend. I think Tom Ford is a fantastic designer, but more so in what he's done with fragrance and beauty. I think it is, I just think the way that they have launched these fragrances, I say they, Tom Ford is owned by the Estee Lauder Group, who are really slick. The way that they use their marketing and the way that they really sort of describe their fragrances, I think is just like some of the best around. And Oud Wood is one of the fragrances that I would always, always recommend to you. And that's because I think this is, now a lot of people wear Oud Wood, a lot of people wear Dior Sauvage, a lot of people wear Creed. But this one just has different connotations for me. This says that it's a guy who really wants to feel refined, who wants something which could be statement, but not too much. It also just has the most beautiful sillage. And when someone is walking past you, or when you're walking past someone else, you just know that they're clocking that. It is such a great fragrance. There's a slight sweetness in here, a slight vanilla. It's got Acqua Wood, which really does last on the skin, which is oud. And there is a really great accessible warmth to it. Unlike the Acqua Di Parma Oud, which is definitely heavier. You do feel like it's this blanket of fragrance, which is kind of pushing down on you. This is much lighter. I also always think that this is for like a guy who has a good blue suit, who has a good job, who just wants to look after himself. It's not necessarily a sort of peacock fragrance of look at me, smell me, look at who I am. But this is a fragrance which is just comfortable. And I love it. So on those days that I want something, but I don't want something too much, it's what I quite often go to. So gorgeous. They also do an Oud Wood Intense, which as you would expect is slightly heavier. They also do the Oud Mineral, which is saltier. And I really like that one too, but this is so great. I've also got the Beard Oil. This is almost finished. So we'll be getting another one right there. My final fragrance, talking of sort of salty and transporting, was a brand new launch for L'Artisan Parfumeur this year, 2020, and this is Couleur Vanille. Now, Couleur Vanille is what I've described as, and I featured it in a video before. I said that it was almost like having an ice cream on the beach, because you've got Madagascar vanilla in this, which is really very sweet, but you've got a salty sort of note in it, which makes me think that you've got the sun, you're walking along this beautiful promenade or out onto a pier, you've kind of got seagulls around you. There's a slight chill in the air, but it's very much summer. It's like a British sort of summer, although Madagascar, but this is my life right now. And what I've loved about this is that there's been several memories attached to this. One is like being at home and having that saltiness in the air of the northeast coast, but then sticking in a Madagascar vanilla to transport you. The Madagascar vanilla is also very warming. It's got a brightness, almost like a solar quality to it, which does very much transport you to those warmer beaches. And Another sort of memory from this is last year I shot a video in Paris around 5 fragrances with L'Artisan Parfumeur. Was it 5? It could have even been more. But I did this whole journey around fragrance, and what L'Artisan Parfumeur has done, starting with their very first one, which was Passage de Ombre, which is where they had their offices, and that's got this smoky sort of incense. We started there, we then moved down onto the Seine, and we looked at Au Bord de l'Eau, and what else did we have? We went to the Moulin Rouge, and we looked at the Absinthe one, which, what's it called again? Absinthe one, can't remember, but it's a gorgeous one. So there were several memories in this because L'Artisan Parfumeur has such a strong brand DNA that kind of goes, it's like a thread through all their fragrances, and it's so, so beautiful. I also just like, I think in terms of the branding, I think the bottles are beautiful. So in a morning to reach for this, and you've got the sort of purple of the bottle below, to reach for this, to spritz it, shut your eyes, take that moment and that instant sort of transportation to the beach, I just loved. And that is so important, and I'll say this again, fragrance is about you. And whatever I say about, I don't like this, I don't like this, don't do this, you do you. And fragrance should be your calling card. It should be something which makes you feel good about yourself. It should give you that confidence and that boost for a date, for an interview, just for you to feel good in yourself. So these are definitely 5 that I've loved. And I'd kind of like to explore a few more with you, because there have been other fragrances and fragrances which changed the way that I feel about myself or how I think other people see me. So those are just 5, but they are all on manfromself.com. There are far more fragrances on there. Seriously, like, that website is busting. So you can go through them, you can go back, you can leave your own reviews, and I'd really love to know what you think about these 2. So make sure you comment below. But thank you very much for watching. Really hope you've enjoyed this. If you have and you've still not pressed subscribe, then hit that subscribe button right now. The button is there. So some more video suggestions down there. Stay with me and watch them. The Man For Himself product pages for fragrance is there. My Man For Himself Instagram is there. Please do come and follow. Also doing reels on there. And anything else? No. But until my next new video, bye-bye.